guys, just real quick, I just wanted to take a quick moment and introduce you to my family. This is my wife, Leticia. A lot of you know Leticia. This is the kids, the first time in years that they've come. And Michaela just turned 12 and Tyler's 9. And yeah, this is my source right here. This is my power, and they're always backing me up all the way. And we're having a blast living life together. And so I just wanted y'all to meet them. If you get a chance, you can say hello. If you see them throughout the weekend, would love for you to meet them. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you, Michaela. Thank you, darling. My kids said they'd come up as long as they didn't have to say anything. Okay, so what I want to talk to you about is something that I briefly had a conversation with some of the leadership yesterday, and that's something that has been kind of building within our organization. And I would say we're definitely a very values-focused company, and we have been from the very beginning. Values have been important to us, you know. And Wayne, you heard Wayne earlier, one of the first conversations he had with some of our leaders was around the ego, edging God out. And there were certain concepts and ideals that we wanted to foster in World Ventures, but it was pretty much all informal. But it was amazing because we were very blessed to have a lot of great people in the company, and that they've really taken hold and they've helped shape this company today. And so what I have been doing more than anything personally, as far from the company's perspective, is I continue to think about how can we continue to up our game when it comes to building trust in the marketplace. And core value number 3 is to honor, embody, and expand trust. And if you're not familiar with the core values, I really encourage you to read them, get to know them, talk about them, reference them, train on them. But this one is the one I want to speak about today. Honor, embody, and expand trust. Because what we want to do at World Ventures is we want to become a brand that is synonymous with trust. So that when you're out there talking to people about World Ventures, when they hear the name World Ventures, they're like, wow, yeah, I want to learn more about that. And they trust our company simply because of the name and the brand. That's what we're going towards. Now, that is exciting, yes. And it is, even though I would say amongst the direct sales, network marketing industry, we have a very strong, very great reputation in the industry, we still have the fact that we're a direct sales network marketing company. And there is a stigma, as a lot of you know. You're out there talking to people about the business. They're saying, well, is this network marketing? You know, is this one of those pyramid things? A lot of people have these questions. And we know, those of us that have been involved with within the industry, not just World Ventures, but the entire industry of network marketing, that this is the greatest industry on the planet. There's no more fair industry. There's no more equitable. There's no more empowering. There's no more life-changing industry than network marketing. And most of the criticism or the stigma is really unjustified. It's really unfair. But the question that we started to ask ourselves is what, instead of us, because this is what I've observed. I've observed in the industry, and in my 17 years full-time in the industry now, most of the time, people defending the industry of network marketing. And the question that I started and my team has started to ask is, what is it about network marketing in this industry that does contribute to some of that reputation? What is it that we can own? What is it that we can learn from, and what can we grow? And there's a lot of things that we do at World Ventures different than other companies. There's companies that'll sell you thousands of dollars worth of inventory of product, and there's all kinds of stuff happening out in the industry that contribute to it. And even though we do a lot of things great, we can still continue to improve and grow and become a better company. Yes, and one of the reasons why this is a challenge, because it's harder than just saying we want to be a company that's synonymous with trust. And the reason why that is because a lot of the cultural conditioning and beliefs that we have all grown up and it's become a part of us. What we're seeing, if you think about it, are models for success. What are the models of success that we see every single day? What do we see happening in politics? What do we see happening on Wall Street? What do we see happening in business? How about the news? What about the food companies, the pharmaceutical companies? What are some other examples? Advertising, banking. I mean, we could go on and on and on. You think of people that are successful, and there's a lot of people that could easily develop belief systems that make them think, you know what? In order to get ahead, you just got to cut corners. And some people, I believe, because I think a lot of times we almost can be like a fish in water because we see so much of it out there, we're kind of like a fish in water. Let me show you one recent example. They're just everywhere. I mean, look at the Lance Armstrong scandal, for instance. I love the guy, but it was really heartbreaking to hear some of that. Let's look at vitamin water. Okay, if you look at that label, let's say some of you have probably studied vitamin water, you know what vitamin water, you're real into nutrition, but you look at that and then you hear about, you read some of the things on the side, support a healthy immune system, give your morning some nutrition, fight for your overall health. If you were brand new, kind of as an outsider, looking at that at a convenience store, would you think that was healthy? Yeah. Well, guess what? It's not. It's basically sugar water with pennies worth of vitamins in there. It's got almost as much sugar as a 12-ounce can of Coca-Cola. So the Center for Science and Public Interest, Center for Science and the Public Interest, they've been doing this lawsuit now for several years for basically deceptive and unsubstantiated claims. This has been in the news. This is nothing new. You know who owns vitamin water? Coca-Cola. You know what they've done to their labeling since this time? Nothing. They're still doing the same thing. And this is their response from Coca-Cola. No consumer could reasonably be misled into thinking vitamin water was a healthy beverage. Guys, I'm just bringing this out as just some examples. We're seeing this every day. Companies that are respected and honored and admired and looked up to, and this is what they're doing. Okay, so let me talk briefly about, before we go to the next slide, about some things that happen in network marketing. Network marketing has been around for a long time. There's 3 really big, very successful network marketing companies where almost all the really good training, it's evolved and it's got better, but there's some really great foundational training about how to build your business that's basically been passed on through these companies. And most of it's really great stuff. Almost all of it works really well, but some of it might be considered a little bit deceptive. Okay, let me give you an example. Somebody asks you, is this network marketing? Your answer is, or that the person's, your answer is, why? Do you like network marketing? And their response back is, well, no. Well, you're going to love this. Well, yes. Well, you're going to love this. Either way, whatever your answer is, say, you're going to love this. Okay? Or how about this one? You're throwing a travel party, and you want to make sure you get as many people to the party. By the way, I'm embarrassed to say I've done this, what I'm about to tell you, and I've trained on it on the past. Part of what I want to say here is I'm not trying to front anybody out. What I'm saying is I was like a fish in water. I thought it was a totally A-okay. And with a lot of people's standards, it is. What I'm saying is let's elevate to a higher standard. So that's what I'm saying. So as I have somebody come over, I say, hey, listen, would you do me a favor? On your way in, would you pick up a bag of ice? We really need ice for this party. It's inexpensive. It's easy for them to do. They bring the bag of ice. Whether I need the ice or not, I'm asking them to do that. Then I do that for the next person, and then the next person, and the next person. And then it becomes a joke when they're walking in the door and there's 10 or 12 bags of ice. Some people might not take that very well, though, right? So these are the types of things that I want you to be thinking about. That the absolute worst, though, is, and where there's just a real natural tendency, is you get excited. You want your testimony to be good. You want your dream trip testimony to be good. You want your success story to be good. And it's easy to get excited and to exaggerate and to make your story more than it is. And what I'm here to tell you is our truth is enough. Our truth is enough. You can be real, you can be transparent, and by building the credibility in the marketplace, it will give you rewards. So I want to give you some new models for success than some of the ones that I talked about. And there's a book that's made a profound impact in my life and a lot of people in this room, and it's called The Speed of Trust by Covey. And I'm not going to go into this book at all. I just encourage you to get it and read it. I promise you, this book, if you read it, it's a life-changing book. Tom's Shoes. You guys are familiar with Tom's Shoes? What a great story. You know, his idea was, buy a pair of shoes. We're going to give a pair of shoes to someone in a third world country that has no shoes. And in their first 6 years of business, they gave away 2 million pairs of shoes. 2 million pairs of shoes. Zappos is a company that I love to talk about. Zappos, they're a very values-focused company, and one of the things that they're really focused on is customer value. You know, what's best for the customer. Even if it's not necessarily best for the business, what's best for the customer. So one of the things that they do at Zappos is if you call up a customer, or you call up Zappos, and there's a product that you're looking for, and they don't carry it, guess what they do? They'll help you find a competing company that carries it so you can find the product that you're looking for. As a matter of fact, there's one story of it happened in Mandalay Bay where they're headquartered in Vegas. They actually went to a mall for a woman and dropped off the competing company's product to their hotel at no cost. You can call up Zappos and ask them any question you want. They're like a concierge service. I almost don't like to say that, but they're almost like a concierge service. They'll give you driving directions. They'll tell you anything because their commitment is doing whatever they can for the customer. And they want to stay on the phone as long as you can. Other companies are saying no less. So they've invested, and guess what? Zappos is one of the fastest growing online companies in history. They're a $1 billion success story, and Amazon has purchased them. I love this example. This is my favorite example. Patagonia. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this ad campaign. Last year, over the holidays, they put up these signs, and all it said, it had the Patagonia jacket, and it said, "Don't buy this jacket." It's their jackets. And you had to go to their website to read more and to understand why are they saying don't buy their product. And if you read their stuff, they literally tell you, listen, if you buy our stuff, it's harmful for the environment. It harms the environment, what it takes for us to manufacture our product. We want you to know that. Now, our stuff lasts 3 times longer, and we recycle the stuff that we use to make your gear, but it's you guys know the expression. Thank you. Make no mistake. Make no mistake, it is harmful for the environment. So, they have this Common Threads initiative, and it says, reuse. We help you find a home for Patagonia gear you no longer need. You sell or pass it on. They actually have a place on eBay where you can buy and sell their product. They want you to buy and sell product. If you reuse it, reduce. We make the useful gear that lasts longer. You don't need to buy what you don't need. Recycle it. What you're not using, recycle, repair it, reimagine. And so they're saying, don't buy our product. They're hugely successful companies. Companies thought they were crazy. Guess what happened to their sales coming out of this advertising campaign? Yes, according to Harvard Business Review, they had a meeting at Google, blew away the executives at Google, their success on top with the most innovative companies on the planet. So a lot of times, I say this because our models for success are cut corners, exaggerate, be a little deceptive, it'll help you succeed. Has that helped companies succeed? Has it? It really has. I hate to say that, it has. Some companies, and it might be short-lived, and it's probably going to catch up with them, but some companies have used that to their advantage. But what I am so excited and passionate about is seeing companies like Patagonia, seeing companies like Tom's Shoes that are doing the right thing based on their values, based on what's important to them, and they're doing what's right over what's necessarily best for the business, and that's proving to be what's best for the business. Is that exciting? All right, so let's talk about what we've done at World Ventures, because we talk about trust, right? We talk about it. We talk about building trust. What are we doing to build trust? We're talking about it. That's happening. We got a really strong trust organization. I'm going to give you an example of something that we did a couple years ago. This is an idea that was suggested by some of our field leaders. And we were doing, at the time, about 10 acceleration events per year like these. We used to call events like this accelerations, these 3-day events. Now it's just Momentum and Millionaire Bootcamp. But we used to do about 10 of them. And what we found is they were really effective for a lot of people. And they were traveling around the country, going to each one, spending a lot of money on hotels and events. And I mean, it's costly to do this on a regular basis. But their business was growing, so they kept doing it. But it was very expensive. And then there were some people that they were so committed to World Ventures that we couldn't tell them not to go. And they would go, and they would go, and then they would go. And so we decided, you know what? Let's do something that's in the best interest of our field reps, okay? This is a higher margin product for us, but we said, let's just do a couple of these a year. Let's do some small regional trainings, very low cost, easy for people to get to, so that people can get the training in their markets. It's been very effective. And I want you to know, the decision maker was do the right thing. Another thing that we implemented quite a while ago is this conversation that we call the common sense meter. And the common sense meter says, listen, we want you to go to these trainings. This is an investment in your future. A lot of people spend a lot more money investing in their future in a lot of other places, opening up businesses, going to universities. But at the same time, we want you to be smart about your decisions. If you've been going and you're having huge success, keep coming, keep doing them. But if you've been coming and you're not seeing a lot of success, we don't want you to go into financial debt over coming to these events. Continue to focus and build closer at home and do it when it makes sense. You understand what we're saying? We don't want anybody having challenges with their finances or with their spouses or anything like that. And thank you. I don't know of a single training company on the planet that sells trainings that has ever talked about the common sense meter. Our income disclosure statements, we're about to make that much more transparent than any network marketing company out there. We had a dream trip where we had about 100 people go on this dream trip. And it was a great trip, great resort. But guess what? Even though it was near the same location, it wasn't the exact same location. Equivalent trip, but it wasn't the same trip. So what did we do? We decided to give every single person 100% of the dollars they spent on that vacation so they could spend it towards a future dream trip. It cost us about $50,000, but it was about doing the right thing. And guys, I'm really only saying this so you know that it's not just words. Just this week, we formalized a trust council, which the chair of the trust council is our chief people officer, Onhill, and you're going to hear, some of you heard from him before, you're going to see him again here in a little bit. And we're going to be announcing a blog soon. And on this blog, this is where you can come with your questions, your thoughts. You can ask the tough questions, any question. You got thoughts, you have something that you're struggling with, or you think we're breaking trust in some way, talk about it on an open, transparent format so we can have that accountability with you. We want to hold you accountable, but we also want you to hold us accountable so that we can become that most trusted brand in direct sales. Guys, can you think about this? Everybody knows network marketing is the coolest concept ever. It makes so much sense, but it's that thing, that trust issue that holds it back from its power. There's no concept as strong as the concept that we have at World Ventures. Nothing is hot, nothing is as exciting, nothing is cool as World Ventures. And when we have that, plus we continue to elevate our brand and we become the most trusted brand in direct sales, it's lights out, guys. Lights out. Thank you so much.